Hey everyone, welcome back in part 3 of our ERC-721 series with Hardhat. We are learning about upgrading your ERC-721 token using OpenZeppelin's UUPS proxy pattern. If you haven't watched part 1 or part 2 yet, make sure to pause the video and go back to these videos. Alright, first an introduction to upgradable smart contracts. In traditional smart contracts, once deployed, their logic is immutable. This means that any bugs or desired features require deploying a new contract, which can be disruptive for your project. Upgradable smart contracts solve this by separating the contract into two parts. First, we have a proxy contract. This stores the state, which is the data, and delegates calls to the logic contract. The logic contract is the second part, which contains the actual business logic and can be replaced or upgraded. In this tutorial, we'll cover the UUPS pattern, or the Universal Upgradable Proxy Pattern. It's a gas-efficient way to implement upgradable contracts. The most significant benefit of using the UUPS pattern is that the proxy contract is minimal, while the logic contract contains the functions to authorize and perform upgrades. Now that we understand how the UUPS pattern works, let's take a look at the code. First, the prerequisites. Make sure you've cloned example repository or have your own copy on your machine. You also need Hardhat with the Hardhat Ethers plugin, OpenZeppelin contracts, and a Hedera testnet account with your operator key configured in hardhat.config.js. Further, we've installed two extra dependencies. First, the OpenZeppelin contracts upgradable. This is a version of the OpenZeppelin contracts library designed for upgradable smart contracts. It contains modular and reusable smart contract components that are compatible with proxy deployment patterns, such as our UUPS pattern. And further, we have the OpenZeppelin Hardhat Upgrades plugin. This Hardhat plugin simplifies deploying and managing upgradable contracts. It provides utilities like deploy proxy and upgrade proxy and automatically manages the underlying proxy contracts. This plugin is imported in the hardhat.config.js file, so we can use it directly. Okay, thirdly, now let's create our initial upgradable ERC-721 contract. Let's head over to the OpenZeppelin wizard to generate our upgradable ERC-721 contract. First, click on the ERC-721 tab and name your token My Token Upgradable. Next, configure the contract by enabling the following features. Enable Mintable to allow new tokens to be created and select the auto increment IDs for automatic token ID assignment. Set access control to ownable to restrict administrative actions. Then check the upgradability option. This will reveal upgrade patterns. Select the UUPS pattern as the upgrade mechanism. Once you're done, the wizard will generate you your Solidity code. Copy the code and paste it into your project's contracts directory in a new file named ERC-721 upgrade.sol. Step 4. Deploying the upgradable ERC-721 contract. Alright, now it's time to deploy our upgradable contract. The deploy upgradable script uses the deploy proxy function to deploy the logic contract behind the proxy, while also calling the initialize function to set up the contract. This ensures that the correct initialization function is explicitly defined. Once the deployment is complete, be sure to copy the contract address of your ERC-721 token. You'll need it for future interactions and upgrades. Step 5. Write the upgrade logic for our ERC-721 contract. Now, let's simulate a scenario where we need to upgrade our smart contract. Let's say we've discovered a small issue in our original ERC-721 implementation. To keep it simple, we'll create a new version of the contract that extends the original and adds a version function that returns the string version 2. This will help us easily confirm that the upgrade was successful. Once the new contract is ready, run the npx hardhat compile command to compile your new smart contract called ERC-721 upgrade version 2.sol. Alright, step 6. Upgrade our ERC-721 contract. Let's create an upgrade.js script to upgrade our ERC contract. This script will update the proxy to point to the new logic contract and then verify the upgrade by calling the version function in the upgrade v2 contract. Be sure to replace the placeholder proxy address with the actual address you copied during the initial deployment. Since we are the owner of both the proxy and the logic contracts, we're authorized to perform this upgrade. Once the script is ready, run it using the npx hardhat run command. The terminal will display the upgraded contract address along with the output of the version function, confirming the upgrade was successful. Congratulations! You have successfully upgraded your ERC-721 token using OpenZeppelin's UUPS proxy pattern and Hardhat.